Let's talk about what Orange County homeowners need to know right now. Hello everybody, Nicolai Glazer here with Pacific Sotheby's International Realty and your Orange County housing market update. As we move deeper into June and officially kick off the summer season, I wanted to spend a few moments talking about what we're seeing in today's housing market and, more importantly, what I believe homeowners, buyers and sellers, should be paying attention to over the next several months. One of the biggest misconceptions I hear every year is that the housing market gets stronger throughout the summer. While summer is certainly an active time of year, historically, the strongest part of the housing market actually takes place in spring. And based on what we're seeing today, it appears that spring, it's officially peaked. And now, before anybody panics, this is not a negative statement. It simply means the market is beginning its normal transition. Let's call it the summer shift. For the past several months, we've watched buyer activity increase, homes come on the market, and sellers benefit from strong competition for well-positioned properties. But now we're beginning to see the next phases emerge. Inventory is gradually increasing, buyers continue to have more choices, and demand, while still healthy, is no longer accelerating like it was the first half of the year. In other words, the market is becoming more balanced. And frankly, that's not a bad thing. In fact, for many buyers, this is the healthiest market we've seen in quite some time. There are more options to choose from, more opportunities to compare properties, and more time to make thoughtful decisions. The days of feeling like you have to sprint through an open house and write an offer before dinner time, those days are long gone. Today's buyers are doing their homework. They're comparing properties carefully, and they're evaluating conditions, location, floor plan, upgrades, HOA costs, and overall value before making a decision. And that's creating an important shift for sellers. The homes that are attracting the most attention today aren't necessarily the homes with the biggest views or the more expensive finishes. The homes that are winning are the homes that are properly prepared, properly presented, and properly priced. Those three things have become increasingly important because as inventory grows, buyers naturally they become more selective. This market starts separating homes in two categories: the homes that create urgency and the homes that create hesitation. The difference between those two outcomes often comes down to the preparation and the strategy long before the property ever hits the market. In today's environment, success isn't accidental, it's planned, it's thoughtful pricing, it's understanding the competition, it's preparing the property properly, and it's making sure buyers can easily see and experience the home. That's where we're seeing the strongest results. Another trend worth watching is in the luxury market. The luxury market remains active throughout Orange County, but it's beginning to show signs of slowing down just like the rest of the market. Luxury buyers continue to have significant purchasing power, but they're taking more time to make decisions and evaluating properties more carefully than they were a year or two ago. That doesn't mean luxury properties aren't selling. They absolutely are. But it does mean strategy matters even more at that higher price point. As we look ahead at the rest of summer, I expect inventory to continue growing through July and potentially August before beginning its normal next seasonal decline later in the year. That means buyers will continue to enjoy more choices, sellers will face a bit more competition, and the importance of proper pricing and preparation will continue to increase. Now, despite all the headlines and the noise we hear every day, one thing remains constant. Homes are still selling, buyers are still buying, people are still relocating, families are still growing, and retirement, it's still happening. Life continues regardless of mortgage rates, elections, headlines, or market predictions. That's why I often remind clients that there is no such thing as a perfect market. There is only the market we have today. The question isn't whether conditions are perfect. The real question is whether the timing aligns with your goals, your family, your finances, and your plans for the future. That's where strategy becomes more important than speculation. As we move into summer, my advice is simple. Stay informed, understand your options, have a plan, and don't let the headlines make decisions for you. The summer shift is underway, and while the market is becoming more balanced, opportunities, they still exist for both buyers and sellers who understand how to position themselves correctly. If you'd like to discuss your specific situation, your home's value, or create a strategy for the months ahead, send me a DM or just pick up the phone like we used to. Thanks for hitting the like button, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.